Have you ever done something kind for a complete stranger, never expecting anything in return? Sometimes the smallest act of kindness can travel farther than we ever imagine. A single good deed can quietly change lives, open unexpected doors, and remind us that hope still exists in this world. Today's story is about a poor single father who worked long days as a mechanic just to keep food on the table for his little son. One ordinary afternoon, he chose kindness over profit when an elderly woman needed help. He thought it was just another day at work. He had no idea that one phone call would change everything. Before we begin, welcome to Spread Kindness. If stories like this warm your heart and remind you that goodness still exists, please subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and leave a comment telling us about a time when someone showed you unexpected kindness. Your support helps us continue sharing inspiring stories that make the world a little brighter. David was a hardworking mechanic in a small American town. His repair shop wasn't fancy. The paint on the walls had faded years ago, and most of his tools had been used for so long that the handles were smooth from countless hours of work. Every morning before sunrise, David unlocked the garage while his 8-year-old son, Ethan, got ready for school. Life had not been easy since David's wife passed away several years earlier. Raising Ethan alone meant every dollar mattered. Rent, groceries, school supplies, and medical bills often left him wondering how he would make it through another month. Still, David never complained. He simply worked harder. His customers trusted him because he was honest. If a repair cost less than expected, he charged less. If something didn't need fixing, he said so. Many people told him he could make more money by taking advantage of customers who knew little about cars, but David refused. His father had once told him, "A good name is worth more than a full wallet." David carried those words with him every day. One rainy afternoon, an old sedan slowly rolled into the parking lot. An elderly woman stepped out carefully with the help of a cane. She looked worried and exhausted. "I'm sorry to bother you," she said softly. "My car stopped running, and I don't know what to do." David smiled kindly. "Don't worry, ma'am. Let's take a look." After checking the engine, he quickly found the problem. It was a broken part that could easily be replaced from an old vehicle he had in the back of the shop. The woman looked nervous. "I don't have much money," she admitted. "I'm living on my retirement check." David glanced at the worn purse she held tightly in her hands. He thought about the bills waiting on his kitchen table. He knew he needed every dollar he could earn. But then he remembered his own mother, who had struggled after losing his father. He smiled again. "Today, you don't owe me anything." The woman stared at him in surprise. "I can't let you work for free." "You can," David replied gently. "Sometimes people just need a little help." Within an hour, the car was running perfectly. Tears filled the woman's eyes. "You've given me more than a repaired car," she whispered. "You've given me peace." She thanked him over and over before driving away. David returned to work, thinking nothing more about it. The next morning, while he was changing the brakes on another customer's truck, his phone rang. "Hello, this is David." A calm professional voice answered. "My name is Emily Carter. My mother visited your shop yesterday." David immediately smiled. "I hope she made it home safely." "She did," Emily said. "She told me everything." There was a brief silence. "I'd like to meet you this afternoon." David wondered why, but agreed. Later that day, a sleek black SUV stopped outside his small garage. A well-dressed woman stepped out with several people following behind her. She shook David's hand warmly. "My mother has talked about your kindness all morning," Emily said. "She hasn't smiled like that in months." David felt embarrassed. "I only fixed her car." Emily smiled. "Most people would have seen an opportunity to make money. You saw a person who needed help." David noticed the people with her carrying cameras and notebooks. Emily explained that she was the CEO of one of the largest automotive companies in the state. Her business often partnered with local repair shops, but they only worked with mechanics known for honesty and integrity. "My mother told me," Emily continued, "that she offered to pay you, and you refused because she needed the money more than you did." David nodded quietly. "It just felt like the right thing." Emily looked around the old garage. "I'd like to offer you something." She handed him a folder. Inside was a partnership agreement that would allow David's shop to become an authorized service center for her company's growing network. The contract included new equipment, advanced training, and enough steady business to completely transform his small garage. David couldn't believe what he was reading. There must be some mistake. Emily shook her head. "No mistake. We can teach technical skills. We can buy equipment. But honesty, compassion, and character cannot be purchased. Those are the qualities we're looking for." David's eyes filled with tears. For the first time in years, he felt hope replacing worry. Over the following months, everything slowly changed. The old garage received new tools, fresh paint, and modern equipment. More customers came than ever before, not because of advertisements, but because people heard about the mechanic who cared more about people than profit. David hired 2 young mechanics who had struggled to find work. He trained them not only to repair cars but also to treat every customer with respect. Whenever someone couldn't afford an emergency repair, David quietly found a way to help whenever he could. Ethan loved visiting the shop after school. He watched his father work with pride. One evening, Ethan asked, "Dad, why do you help people even when they can't pay?" David smiled. "Because one day someone may need our kindness, too. And kindness has a way of finding its way back." Years later, people still remembered the story of the elderly woman whose broken car led to something far greater than anyone expected. Emily often said that her company never made a better business decision than choosing a man whose greatest strength wasn't fixing engines, it was caring about people. David never became rich overnight, but he gained something even more valuable. He built a life filled with respect, friendship, and purpose. His son grew up believing that success wasn't measured only by money, but by the difference you make in someone else's life. Every act of kindness creates a ripple. You may never know where it will end or whose life it will touch. A helping hand, a generous heart, or a simple moment of compassion can become the beginning of someone else's miracle. So the next time you have the chance to help someone, don't hesitate. Kindness is never wasted, even when no one seems to notice. The good you give has a remarkable way of returning when you least expect it. Until next time, remember to spread kindness wherever you go, because the world always needs a little more of it.